Danny and Gary Moss know how to work. They haul boulders, built an English conservatory, and a Chicksville henhouse all by themselves. Plus, they design gardens with wildlife and whimsical appeal. When they want a touch of art, they make it themselves. Gary welds to suit the purpose, and Danny catches the light with her stained glass. Adventure is their credo, especially after spending 4 years on a Prevost bus when they went to look for America. On their return to Austin in 2010, they brought home ideas to put their creative stamp on their new garden.
I wanted it to be a retreat, just kind of to walk back into the backyard and just go, wow, I'm home. To be able to sit outside, look at the flowers. I love hummingbirds. I love them. And I wanted to plant stuff that was going to attract them. And for butterflies. Just so that every day you'd walk out and you'd just have the butterflies around, the hummingbirds, and we put out bird feeders so the cardinals would start coming because nothing was here. And there weren't a lot of birds that were coming around.
There wasn't much for wildlife, even trees, after oak wilt came through. All they had was a ton of rocks. Tons and tons. With the bobcat, chains, and plain old back-breaking ingenuity, they unearthed their potential. Their new row above ground framed raised beds. Once filled with yards of rich soil, Danny was on her way to a lively wildlife garden. Gary welded the nameplate for one spot after her nickname, Bugs.
So little by little, I just started planting different plants. And there's no rhyme or reason for anything. You just kind of see that there's a menagerie of everything. Everything from big to small, different colors. And it just seems to work. Some of it kind of hangs out and it's whimsical. And then we wanted stuff that would stay evergreen all winter. Some of it will die back and some of it won't.
Danny went for drought-tough plants, but since even they need some water, especially when young, they installed a 12,000-gallon rain collection tank. Their house came with a patio that they've covered as a central family starting point. They added new paths to take them to the destinations they've added. One is a year-round greenhouse.
I wanted it to look like an old English conservatory. I draw it out for him, kind of give him a rough draft of what I want it to look like, and we talk about what I want it to look like, and then he creates it from there.
With stones from the property and doors from Habitat for Humanity recycled as windows, Gary built a magical room for them and Danny's plants. For the roof, Gary used polycarbonate panels to cut down on the heat. The greenhouse still has a fan to cool down summer heat and a watering system.
I like to build stuff, and there's nothing I can't do. It's just a matter of just doing it.
Danny designed stained glass to accent the romantic setting. Gary welded its trellises and other metalwork. They even gave it a cozy patio, complete with Gary's whimsy. Gary had barely put the tools away when Danny had another idea.
It was either here kitty kitty or here chicky chicky. And he didn't want a kitty, so here chicky chicky. It just kind of slowly progressed, and I wanted it to be brighter colors. The greenhouse is more traditional looking, and I wanted the chicken coop to be as whimsical as it could possibly be. I wanted them to be polar opposites.
Again, they relied on many recycled materials, including windows they found in Gonzales.
Those are actually windows that would lay on their side and open this way. That's what they were.
So we just turned
I just turned them up and put the hinge on top and stuff and just redesigned them. That's what we did. They were casement windows.
Their first priority was to make it safe from predators. For now, with running water and electricity, It's a spot any friendly pet chicken is happy to call home. But they designed it to repurpose as a playhouse or even doghouse in the future. Visiting family and friends get the panoramic view from the upstairs guest quarters in a building that multitasks as Danny's stained glass workshop and Gary's current welding shop. Gary crafted the intricate staircase and the overlooking balcony. His artwork for purpose and decoration started when he was 15 and landed a job in Oklahoma with a craftsman ironworker.
I figured out real quick I wasn't going to make any money at it, so but I promised myself if I ever retired, I'd pick it back up. So I retired, I picked it back up, and so I like a project, and so it's not a problem with her around. She can think up more things for me to do than you can only imagine.
Since they value handcrafted artwork, they're always on the lookout for fellow creators. They never miss a chance to recycle the latest find into their design or model their own version from something that sparks their imagination.
Where you just drive along and you see something that you really think is cool, and then you kind of just try to incorporate it into something that you're doing.
You can bet that the garden's a favorite for grandchildren birthday parties and family events, where every generation finds its magical connection to the outdoors. Probably, though, the best thing they've passed on to the next generation is their fearless jaunt into life.
If you don't know how to do it, try it anyway. And if you mess it up, don't tell anybody.